Excuse me. Time police here. It's time for me to give you... It's time for me to give you your safety briefing for this weekend. We don't want any disasters, do we? There are a few rules. We like rules in the Time Police. You may find on the floor in this room cables. Do not play with the cables. I cannot make any clearer. If it says do not touch, I know it's like a rag to a bull, but please do not touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, time travellers, historians, fans of chaos, tea and trebuchets, welcome to Jodiworld 25. It's been a mammoth task to pull this together with some true DM moments on the way, culminating in the Podzebo at the back there, jumping all around the country because it obviously had the wrong coordinates. Now we've got some truly fabulous guests joining us. First up, we're delighted to welcome the master of mystery, comedy and charming Irish sarcasm. So do say hello to Caoimhe MacDonald. And I'm going to wet myself now because we are utterly thrilled to welcome an incredibly special guest. The actor, narrator and voice of Max herself, we've got Zara Ram. Of course, none of us would be here without the incomparable creator of this brilliant madness. Please welcome to the stage with thunderous applause and a touch of reverent awe, Jodi Taylor. Hello, hello. You've got to say hello to them now.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm sorry, did someone murmur? Hello. Hello. Lovely. Thank you for coming, and thank you very much for asking me back to this second Jodiworld convention.
Just quickly going to run through the highlights of the weekend, just in case you haven't read the README, because I bet you haven't. Here's a quick look at the weekend's major events. So tonight, after the opening ceremony, we've got a little gap for a wee and to grab a drink, and for Jodi and myself to get our nerves back together. And then we'll kick off proceedings with Jodi talking to Zara Ram. And then we've got another half-hour gap where we can all go and get changed into our jammies, if we wish to. You don't have to. And join us for the wonderful treat of bedtime stories. All weekend, you're going to be filming the PodQuest movies. We've got Jodiworld's Got Talent. So we've got a lot of talent here. Followed by our groovy 70s disco, platforms optional, enthusiasm mandatory. Sunday night, we have the gala dinner, followed by the premiere of your movies that you've been making at the Dodo Door Awards, Golden Dodos. And on Monday, we're going to close with the fashion parade. We've got then a charity auction, and then we're all going to come together for a Stop the Clock, which is a very special memorial ceremony honouring those in our Jodiworld family who aren't with us anymore. And finally, we'll bring the weekend to a close with our closing ceremony. But we've got all weekend to go. So, you know. And now we turn to one who claims she's already seen it all. In the stars, in the shadows, and occasionally in the Hilton toilets. Dim the lights and welcome the mysterious, magnificent, and mildly menacing Madame Zara, all-seeing daughter of the gods. She's no relation to Zara Ram.
Köszönöm, we say in Hungary, as thank you. Thank you for coming. I am very old, but I still retain my youthful beauty. with help of blood of virgins. I am descended from Elizabeth Bathory, famous Hungarian countess. She did research in this. Help me look into my crystal ball, and it will tell us what will happen for this weekend together with lovely Jodi. I am seeing how you say is shenanigans, margaritas, good fun, many hugs. And for Jodi, I foresee a great future of more hugs, more margaritas, and who is Hugh Jackman?
Oh yeah, here's a good one. How tiring is it?
Where's my husband? How tiring is it, darling, when I... Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I just have to leave Zara alone. I just
Yeah.
have some wine.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
It is very, very tiring, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hilarious because people say, "Oh, I'd love to read. I'd love to read audiobooks. I'd love to read." I'm like, "Fill your boots.
I did.
There's the studio."
I did the very first damn thing, and I was on my knees
Yeah.
at the end of it. And it was an interesting insight as to how many tongue twisters I write without realising it.
She really does.
Yes, good job. I've got my own teeth, because otherwise they'd be halfway across the room. Have you ever deleted anything?
Yes. Yes, by doing that.
You know, it's a miracle you ever get a book. Quite
It is.
Because
Honestly.
what with me losing 20,000 words, or in one case, an entire book, Hazel got it back for me, and Zara
deleting
deleting
chapters.
willy-nilly.
Yeah, yeah. Or my computer crashing, which last week it did 3 times, because I hadn't done the updates. Apparently that's really important. I now know. All 3 times on the second to last line of a chapter. The beach ball, you know, the wheel of death.
Oh, the beach ball of
Like,
doom, yes.
Whole chapter, gone.
Oh.
Anyway, that's just a little thing. Yeah, it's really painful.
Yeah, suddenly your jobs don't look so bad, do they?
Yeah, they're funny. They're definitely funny, and yeah, sometimes I have to press stop and have a little laugh. I haven't had to leave the room in tears.
Lucy Price-Lewis?
Yes.
Yes, she read The Nothing Girl.
Yes.
And I had a lovely email from her afterwards to say that when it got to the scene where Thomas left, she and her producer left the room in floods of tears and had to go and have a cup of tea and a bit of a sit down before coming back and having another go at trying the chapter. I felt terrible.
Yeah, you should have done.
I really felt really bad. I always remember my first 1-star review for Just One Damn Thing After Another.
1 star?
1 star. And she said, ordered this by mistake, couldn't be bothered to read it, 1 star.
Well, if she'd read it.
Indeed.
Yes.
Her loss.
Her loss.
Thank you for putting a positive spin on a
Always.
painful period of my life.
Always. Here to help.
Let's get this straight, said Jones. You want us to establish whether or not you have a ghost. Oh, no. No. We know the answer to that question. We do have a ghost, Elizabeth Shotton. So, what exactly is the problem? Has she started to walk again? She never stopped. She's here right now. He was right. Something was coming. Oliver's colour was brightening again. He was almost gleeful. I wondered if he enjoyed frightening people. I turned my head to look at Lorelei. Her colour was almost vibrating. Thick ropes of orange ran through it. I moved to face Oliver Shotton. Why exactly have you brought me here? I want you to send the ghost away. Mrs. Cage is not a performing seal, said Jones angrily. Why now? I asked, turning my head, trying to focus. My heart rate was increasing. I could hear the beat inside my head. Have people started to die? Not yet. I don't understand. And we don't want to, said Jones. I don't like the look of any of these dodgy buggers, Cage. Let's go. He began to head for the door. I'm afraid, said Oliver, stepping into his path, that opening the door is out of the question. You see, unfortunately for all of us, there's one rather important piece of information that isn't generally known. I wasn't completely sure of it myself until it was too late. And what's that? I asked, although I was horribly sure I'd guessed the answer. Oliver's colour surged around him. Elizabeth Shotton. She lets people in, but she never lets them back out again. You say Mrs. Cage is not a performing seal, but if she ever wants to see the outside world again, then, I'm afraid, perform she must. And two of your favourite characters are about to go on a date.
Without looking up, and much more loudly than he had intended, he demanded, "Do you like kittens?" The waiter, who had chosen that moment to lean across Jane to fill her water glass, was rather startled to be included in this bizarre couple's conversation and was slightly thrown. "Oh, yes," he said. "Do you?" Jane concentrated hard on the checked tablecloth. Grint stared across the room. The waiter withdrew, advised his two colleagues to keep an eye on table 3, and began to gird himself for a return trip with the menus. "So," said Jane, sipping her wine for courage and comfort, "what's next on the list?" "Books," said Grint, very aware he wouldn't be doing the heavy lifting with this one. Unless Jane was also a subscriber to Bombs and Blasters, of course. He cleared his throat. "What are you reading at the moment?" "Well, at the moment I'm reading Wuthering Heights for about the 12th time," said Jane, slightly conscious of letting the side down and considering it unlikely Grint was familiar with Emily Bronte's classic work. It was to be an evening of surprises for both of them. Grint frowned. "Is that the one where everyone lives in the kitchen and shouts at each other across the moors?" Yes, that's it. Have you read it too?" Even the waiter looked impressed. "Did it at school," Grint said quickly, before anyone could begin to suspect him of unnecessary literacy. "Everyone hates everyone, right? I don't know why they don't just call it a day and come out of the rain." "I never thought of that," said Jane, fascinated by this fresh insight. "And," he said, warming to his theme, "I'd have caved in Heathcliff's head with a saucepan, chucked his body in a bog and claimed he'd gone off on his travels again, wouldn't you?" "Well, I hadn't actually considered it until this moment, but now you come to mention it, what a good idea." Grint nodded. "Would have been a shorter book too." It was obvious this would have been a powerful point in the book's favour. The waiter considered coughing gently to indicate he was awaiting their order and decided against it. Jane was thoughtful. "Wouldn't the bog have preserved his body, though? It does, you know. They're always finding prehistoric people in bogs, and it could have floated to the surface at any time. I don't think a bog is necessarily the best place to hide the person you've just murdered." "What about setting fire to it?" suggested Grint. "I'll have a steak, please. Rare."
I don't think it would ever have stopped raining long enough for them to get a good fire going. Quicklime, perhaps? Tuna for me, please."
The waiter nodded. "Actually, in some circumstances, quicklime can actually preserve the body." They looked at him. "Reading chemistry at uni." He gestured around him. "Student loans. You'd be better off with Lya. If you can heat it, a Lya solution can liquefy a body in about 3 hours. Job done." "Useful," said Grint.
Good. Is there a trebuchet?
I'm happy actually. I love this shit. And I haven't had my own set since I was about 10, 12.
Oh, you can actually build a trebuchet. Look at the side. On the side of the...
causomancy is specifically looking at divination of burning things. And so you look how the thing burned. Now, I have been told you shouldn't do this with witches. Witches get very annoyed when you start burning them, so don't do that. Rumpology. We know what it means, rumpology, don't we? This was set up by a blind clairvoyant called Buck, and he organised and worked out divination using the bottle.
And never touch them, or should I read them anyway?
I would read them anyway. Yeah. Books always look better with cracked spines and dog-eared pages. Perfection is very boring.
I went down to stores and asked for a crossbow. And this is what they gave me. It has the aerodynamic possibilities of a brick. But never mind, laddie, come back here. There'll be something sweet for you later. This might smart a bit. What's that you say, laddie? Lubrication? There's no time for lubrication. Rip out, grind your teeth, laddie. That'll be the way to do it. Right. So, now we see how far we can send laddie on this abomination of a crossbow. But you do get to say you've seen a dodo fly. Now then, 1, 2, 3. Well done, laddie! This is why St. Mary's has such a terrible record for health and safety. You just watched me perform a horrid abomination on this poor wee dodo, and how many tried to stop me? How many of you said, hang on a minute, you can't do that, you'll injure the poor beastie?
Genuinely, Incognito had dogs. He had a dog that lived on a boat with him at one point, which I think is probably where the idea comes. The bulldog is because I quite like. I mean, one of my boys is mostly staff, so I kind of like that kind of, because they just have the kind of faces. They have those sort of very expressive faces, bulldogs. Because dogs sort of technically don't have expressions, but they do. So the bulldogs just sort of came out with that. And but he had a dog called Guinness, which was also his drink of choice, Cogs, and he lived on the boat with him and stuff.
Just one damn thing after another. What was hidden in the belly of the wooden horse?
Hidden in the belly of the wooden horse. It was the pod remote.
Correct. Sit down.
Yes!
You feel really good when you get to sit down, don't you?
Yeah.
Got the story down and made sure that it works, and each action carries on from something else, and there's a kind of, I won't say logic because it really doesn't apply sometimes, but some kind of weird logic to it. Then I can sit down, make a cup of tea, draw breath, and start to pull it all together, which is a process I have described as trying to get a 6-foot duvet into a 4'6" cover, wearing boxing gloves in the dark.
Very Warwick woman comparison, so I thought that was quite a good one. So you have lots of people, so you've got Fu Hao that you mentioned before, Artemisia as well. She was a fantastic naval commander as well in the Greek, ancient Greek and Persian at the time. She had a lot of control with Xerxes, and she's actually mentioned in Herodotus as well. So she is coined for her strength and tactics and things in Herodotus.
Now, membership lists were never kept because they didn't want them to fall in the wrong hands. They didn't want to, if there was a huge long list, these people could have been arrested straight away. But donors were listed in the Votes for Women newsletters that they did publish at the time. So although we don't have the full list of everybody, and I love hearing it when somebody tells me, oh, my great aunt Nellie was a suffragette and stuff like this. So I love getting the individual stories, because then once you have a name, you can go and research the person and find out what they're involved in. But it's very difficult to start finding people unless they're the donors. And of course, if you're a donor, it means you have money. So it doesn't necessarily give you the lower strata who worked tirelessly very hard too.
He was fully clothed, trust me, it was the first thing I checked. Sorry. Rewind. That's when I'd have to go, stop, edit, start again. I said, oh, and who's talking? Because that's how Markham would do it. I said, good afternoon, Professor, because that's how Markham would do it. Apparently, now he's head of security, standards must be maintained. What sort of standards, of course, he never says. I don't know who's talking. Max. Is that, no, but who's saying, oh, Max, good news, I've done it? Who's that?
Professor Epsom.
Professor Epsom. Right, okay. Oh, Max, good news, I've done it. So I gathered, Professor, jolly well done. Thank you, he said. I know it's been a while, but we got there in the end. Excellent news, Professor, I said, trying to ignore the glass of wine-shaped hole in my life and failing dismally. I look forward to reading your report. No, you don't understand, Max. I've really done it. I stopped thinking about wine and concentrated. This was Professor Rapson, after all. I asked the question I should have led with. Exactly what have you done, Professor? Well, as you know, Max, water is very heavy. I stared at him. He looked comparatively normal. His hair was standing on end, and he had a huge cut, where's somebody else? I was...
Oh, sorry, can I help you? Look, we've even been paid in coins.
Oh, you've been bribed.
This is like, actually, we have been bribed, which is really bad.
With
we'll give you extra chocolates, and they've also tried to fill in their tub with these to make it look full. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
But look at this booth here.
Look at that.
And it genuinely was not a bribe. It was, you are doing so well. Well done, guys. So that's for everybody to share.
I need everybody to say those words out loud. Jump initiated, and the world went white.
Last week she died, and I think we ought to believe that she got to the other side.
I've got an intelligent dog, send him to the shops. I run out of credit with the shopkeeper, so I had to give him a £5 note, send him to the shops. Half an hour later, he hadn't come back. So I thought, oh, I'll find him. So I went out looking for him, and he was down an alley, having an amorous liaison with a lady dog. I says, hang on a minute, you've never done that before. He says, I've never had the money before.
Don't let the wheels of your water bridge go, but such water out of the trolley this while my passenger can't come with narrow. But over the poor old man.
So he stole
Mooly for to make a wedding ring. But the Bow Street runners caught him, and the judge said he will swing.
All the lights, all the music would just fade out. Not a sound.
Still here? It's my birthday too. I wrote a poem about it. I hope you like it. Sweet bird of youth, I miss you a little. My skin is too dry and my hair dull and brittle. But please don't come back to the nest, because I have to admit I'm enjoying the rest. No children to feed, no man with a need. My body is mine again. There's freedom and time again. So sweet bird of youth, don't get in a flap. I'm not too keen to have you back.
At long last my book has arrived, and I thank the goddess of libraries I'm alive. God, it's just too good to be true. We can't wait to read you. I love you, Jodi, yes we love you, but not in a weird way.
Miss Sarah, her face moist from the heat emanating off the presser, smiled at me and winked. She pressed every seam and pleat, making certain not a wrinkle remained on either the robe or the hood. Then she put it on.
I'd like to welcome you to this very special meeting of the wardrobe department. I've gathered you here to make a very special announcement. You may find yourself leaping from jump to jump before...
Striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time your next leap will be the leap home.
I want to sing in opera. I've got that kind of voice. I do always sing in opera. If I could have the choice.
Daytime policeman's lot is not a happy one. With illegals racing down and up the timeline, and temporal tourism on the rise, with St. Mary's causing everybody problems.
Oh, sweet child of time. Oh, sweet child of time. Come on, air guitar.
Yeah, baby!
he clearly went, editorial skills, PR skills, marketing. You know what? That's a fully fledged publishing company right there. And we approached agents and had a lot of feedback, one of which being, your books are too funny, too Irish. Like, really? Too funny and too Irish? That's a problem? So we thought, you know what, actually, we've got the skill set, so we can do this ourselves. So that's essentially how we started. And now he's a hybrid author in the sense that we continue to publish books ourselves. So we have a series called the Dublin Trilogy, and those are all published by ourselves. And then the Stranger Times are published by Transworld, Penguin, Random House. I kind of work.
Oh, you've got a three-way flow.
So yeah, I work with these agents as well as the publishers, and there are lots of things that the publishers will come direct to me about, because the way we work, I want him to focus on writing. That's what he enjoys, and that's where his time is best spent.
Yes.
And I want to get the most out of him, so I'd rather him do that, and then I can pick up the business side of things. So I'll have those conversations with the publishers where it needs be. Where I want Ed, Queeve's agent, to step in, I'll say, Ed, right, I'd like you to broach this topic.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we have this three-way management system. And also Ed will say, I've got a conversation I want to have with Queeve. I'm not sure whether I should have it now. Is it a good time, Elaine? What do you think? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I hadn't, until I became an agent, I'd only dealt with agents from the other side as a publisher, and thought they were the devil's work, really. It was, all they ever wanted was more money, but it was, now I'm in that role, I can understand. I couldn't really understand why I couldn't just talk directly to the author, but I really get it now, because it frees them up to be much more creative and productive, which obviously is what all our readers appreciate. They always want more, more, more.
Yes!
The possibility of fatalities as well.
Oh, I hope not. I'm the present.
I'm a peasant too.
Let's speak. Yeah, fair enough.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
I don't understand the question.
When a mammy and a daddy love each other very, very much. If James Patterson came and knocking with an offer of a collaboration, she said not to ask this question, we should want to ask this question.
Doesn't nobody else wash their face?
No, that is weird. You are officially weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and gentlepersons, Jodiworld, in association with Fluffy Dodo, welcomes you to an evening of illumination, articulation, elucidation and affirmation through accreditation. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening, please welcome to the Dodo Doors 2025!
If a tree falls in the wood with no one around to hear it, does it quack like a duck? Are stones always hard, or do they tense up when touched like I do? If a butterfly flaps its wings in the rainforest, which direction will my toilet flush? You are watching Strange World, Theories Uncaged.
Dyed stones, blue stones, the rolling stones. Ancient, bizarre, and quite frankly, baffling. There is no widely known or established singing stone conspiracy, in the same vein as Noel Edmonds is the real Mr. Blobby. However, the idea of stones having a voice has been part of mythology for centuries. Let's take a look at perhaps the most quadrilateral of examples this side of the Mississippi. Over 10 years ago now, a group of people, for some reason, decided to drag over 150 very large pebbles 140 miles from Wales to Salisbury Plain. For years, we've been trying to answer the question, why bother?
Hit me, I'll cry. Hit the whip and the nay-nay, and the entire pop dance music industry will cringe at my whiteness. But hit a blue stone like it's Stonehenge, and they'll sing. Some say it's Boulder Dash, but I just think they're taking the rocks for granite. Me? Well, I've heard the whispers of the stone. I've heard the ramblings of the rocks. I know what they sing. It echoes in my head, over and over and over.
It's impossible to capture the magnificence and sheer beauty of Stonehenge, because I'm in a car park in Coventry, and Wiltshire is a bloody long walk away.
This is Sir Hugh Grant Bingley Bongley, twice nightly Trenwith Northanger of Bath, Wardrobe, and anywhere else they'll admit him. Sir Hugh, being in possession of a large fortune, a medium-sized estate, and a very tiny brain, is in need of a wife. He has tried the traditional options of asking his cousins. They all refused. He has tried abducting women in the dead of night. They fight back. He tried insulting a woman until she fell in love with him. She thinks he's a loser and told all her friends. He tried winning a wife at cards. If only he knew how to play. He tried seducing his friends' wives. He lost 2 toes and an earlobe in duels. He only survived because they took pity on him. When the stage was held up by highwaymen, he attempted to be heroic, but one of the highwaymen went off with the girl anyway, and the other went off with her mother. He tried seducing a random woman at a masked ball, and discovered just in time that she was his sister. Sir Hugh has taken the advice of his many aunts and decided to try being nice at a ball. He tried the smouldering look on his chosen victim, but she asked if he had indigestion. He brought this lady some cheese, for he read that this fascinates a woman. She ate it and went in search of more. He next decides to use the Marty McFly technique and instructs another gentleman to remove his damned appendages from the lady. This took care of the other earlobe. A kindly-hearted observer bathes the wound for him. He looks into her eyes adoringly, desperately fighting his urge to tell her that he thinks her sister is prettier. She has been betrothed to her cousin since birth. Oh no! But it's okay, her betrothed would rather be a highwayman. Hurrah! Sir Hugh proposes. She accepts. Now all he has to do is find out her name.
I'm Geraldine Loops, and I've been defending time criminals for over... Well, it's complicated, but trust me, I am experienced. At Loops and Loophole LLP, we specialise in temporal jurisprudence violations of all kinds. Accidentally introduced smallpox to the Aztecs? We'll argue it was already there. Caught selling laser pistols to Napoleon? We'll claim temporal entrapment. Left your mobile phone in Egypt and now they're worshipping it as a god? That's just cultural exchange. Caught in the future with an inappropriate weapon? Forgot to leave your watch and smartphone at home? Men in the Common Era just not doing it for you? Did you go off to 900 AD and marry your favourite Thor? And then the time police caught up? We will make it never have happened. We can help you. Our experienced team includes former time police officers who know all the loopholes, historians who can prove anything never actually happened, philosophers who specialise in the temporal paradox defence. Remember, at Loops and Loophole, we don't ask stupid questions like, how did you get a tank to the Battle of Waterloo? We just get results. So if you're facing charges for temporal misconduct, timeline pollution, or chronic anachronism, call us now. We're available at any time. Time Police got you bang to rights giving Harold Godwinson an Apache helicopter? Don't sing like a cassowary. Call 0808 Time Law now. Loop and Loopholes LLP, because time laws were meant to be bent.
This is Dodo News. I am Lady Arnold Shanks. The latest from the news desk this hour is the arrest of Geraldine Loops, a lawyer from Loops and Loopholes LLP. It turns out time laws weren't meant to be bent.
Grockle, grockle, grockle.
Grockle.
What's your name and where you come from? We have to ask the computer. Initiate jump.
You got me. And the world went white.
Clearly, I am also from the French Revolution. Down with the aristos! Liberté, égalité, fraternité!
She's a formal apology.
It's so terrible, but luckily I have my remedy with me. Here it is. I have my own glass of margarita to keep me happy. Santé tout le monde!
Top secret 14425-611.
Computer, security assessment, please. Scan for all life forms in a 100-meter radius.
Yes, assess. No living human. Small rodents and insects. No carnivores. Domesticated herbivores, mammals. 15 meters less.
Computer, confirm the geographic location and date.
Location, Roanoke. Island off the coast of the former state of California, pre-independent, United States of America, 1587.
Computer, open.
Hang on. Computer, repeat scan for human life forms.
What? He said no humans.
No, he said no living humans. That's not the same thing. Very much not the same thing, as we in security frequently have to remind you.
Scan completed. No living humans in a 100-meter radius.
Computer, scan for all humans, living or other.
3.6 deceased humans located 30 meters to south of the pod.
Thing has had a bit of a go at one of the bodies. Sounds a bit odd.
So we have 3 dead bodies and no idea what happened to them.
Let's see what we can see before it gets dark. And no, that doesn't mean popping out for a bimble around. Cameras only first, please. Odd doors stay closed. Computer, southern camera, and microphone on.
I'm looking. There's nothing here. Computer, zoom in. Okay, I can see something. There's definitely 3 bodies. And oh, yuck! More than 6 legs, so definitely a 4th person, if not parts of a 5th. Not dead long, still clothed, although a bit dirty. Could be mud, could be blood. Contemporary clothing for the time.
Boss, I'm just on the eastern camera and there's some really weird markings on the trees. More like gouges than markings, about 4 feet off.
I'm familiar with the Native American style of things from the briefing, and this is not that. What the hell?
What was it?
Don't know. It was like a shadow. It shot across the front of the camera really, really fast. Kind of punched over.
How big was it?
Maybe around 5 foot. It's hard to say.
Okay, I'm even more serious about not opening the doors until I say it's all clear. We know Roanoke has a mysterious past, hence the mission. But we equally are not bringing anything back that we didn't leave St. Mary's with. Understood? I'm sure you've all told about the river incident in basic training. No?
Yes.
Some things out there, and the birds don't like it, and I don't blame them. Computer, assess for life forms again.
Insects involved in this wildlife mammalian herbivores.
Computer, size of the biggest rodent in 100-meter radius.
18 centimetres long, 5 centimetres high, common rat.
Definitely wasn't a rat I saw.
And whatever attacked those people wasn't an herbivore, and it isn't showing up on the scan. I can't keep you safe if I don't know what it is. And if our scan can't even trace it, I don't want to rely on our weaponry to fight it.
Hang on. Incoming transmission.
Warning, boardroom. These coordinates need assessment for SSI status. Do not open doors or extract please. Repeat, boardroom and return space. For location declared out of bounds.
Okay, that's that then. Home we go. Bloody spoil schools. I'll just enter their coordinates. Someone put the kettle on.
It's got a long way across. We've done quite a few others as well, really good.
It's wonderful.
We all recorded voice notes. Amy got them all put together.
When it all comes together, it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
You know, but
yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring this convention to a close, we have one final and very important tradition to honour. In true Time Police style, we are going to stop the clock. Not for chaos or correction, but to pause, to remember, and to reflect. We take this moment to honour the members of our Jodiworld family, fans, friends, and fellow time travellers whom we've lost over the past few years. To lead us in this ceremony, please welcome Captain Little of the Time Police.
We honour our fallen. Please stop the clock! Tina Duray, Nicola Slade. Mort Redding. Rebecca Green. Marietta Winfrey. Russell Bushby. Shirley Bushby. Mumsy. Sue Crisp. Boris, the chunky potato. We will now observe a minute silence. Time police, please stand. Time police, attention! At ease. We thank you for your service and your lives. Start the clock.
And now, deep breath everyone. It's time for our closing ceremony. So please welcome back to the stage the reason we're all here, author, instigator, and queen of temporal chaos, Jodi Taylor. Jodi.
Yes.
Thank you for another weekend of laughter, imagination, and emotional damage. We wouldn't have it any other way. Right, prizes. And now, what you've all been waiting for, let's announce the winners of our weekend's big challenges. They also have prizes for the deductions from wages forms, the winner of it, which is Team Weird. Oh! Right, the next one is the winner of the 15-1. I'm sorry, people, I've got to sit down. Which is Christine Coronado. We've also got some notable volunteers who've gone above and beyond. Firstly, Hazel Brimfield for her tireless duty in merch. I'm not being funny, the poor lady missed the whole thing. She just sat in merch. Where is she? Where's Hazel? The next lady, unfortunately, has had to go home. It's Gina Somerville, who I know you've all seen running around like a mad thing. I'm going to send her her dodo. And now, for the lovely Lynn Rand, who's heroically volunteered for absolutely everything. But somehow, every time she arrived, someone had already got there first. To honour your unparalleled enthusiasm, your unshakable optimism, and your almost but not quite perfect timing, we present you with the wooden dodo spoon. Hang on. Which is... Hang on, I haven't finished. This wooden dodo spoon is ideal for stirring things up, beating the odds, and gently whacking anyone who gets there before you next time.
Thank you so much.
And it's signed by Jodi.
And it's signed by me. Really special.
We're thrilled to announce our best costume winners. So for the first day, we've got Hope.
Hello.
Okay. And next, we have Ali Twist. And the Professor Mackenzie Award for Sartorial Splendour goes to our Charlie as Missy.
Thank you very much.
And the winner of the fancy dress parade this morning is Time Police Headquarters Susan. Where is she? Is she here? Yes, she is. She's still Time Police Headquarters. And now to our PodQuest champions. You've crafted, filmed, scavenged and giggled your way through the PodQuests, and the points have been counted. In fourth place, we have Frogmorton with 264. In third place, we've got Team Cage with 272. In second place, we have Team Wid with 280. Now, if we'd gone with your con-con-coup idea, that would have totalled 860. However, the PodQuest champions for Jodiworld 2025 are St Mary's with 459. Would the leaders of the winning pod team please come up and collect their prize? A wonderful early example of the pod to be retained for 2 years until next time.
Congratulations. Between you.
Door does not open.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Now, I've got a couple of extra thanks that weren't on my list. I couldn't have done any of this without our head of tech, Dave.
Hello.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
There you go. Mind the legs.
Yes. Is this the right one? Because he's not black.
He's black base. All the others were gold. Oh, no, it is that one. Sorry. Wrong one.
This is why I'm head of tech.
Oh, yes, that's why he's head of tech and I'm not. And the last one. Now, I don't like being on stage. I don't know how many of you know this, but there were several people in the loo when I was having a bit of a meltdown. So I have the wonderful Jules here that MCs for me. And thank you, Jules. I really, really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations and mind the legs.
Mind the legs. Oh, thank you, thank you. So there's one big person to thank, and I know you know who it is. Without her, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be Disaster Magnets. We wouldn't be here for a second year and planning for a third convention. Please put your hands together for the incomparable Chair Karen.
Well done. This is why you're allowed to have one in the auction.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, everyone. That's lovely. He's going to be very treasured. I was very jealous when she bought the one for the charity auction, and I thought, I want one then. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, fellow time travellers and chaos merchants, what a weekend. From the moment the doors opened and the last historian down of the gala, this convention has been nothing short of extraordinary, and it's all because of you. To stand here surrounded by the most incredible people that I've ever had the joy to meet, it's honestly overwhelming. You've made this weekend shine brighter than a St Mary's tea trolley on fire. Thank you, all of you, for your friendship, your warmth, your laughter, your mischief, and your unrelenting ability to say, what could possibly go wrong? And mean it. It's been my absolute honour and privilege to spend time not only with my favourite people in the world, but also my favourite author, the incomparable Jodi Taylor. I can't describe what that means to me. Thank you for trusting me with your world. I'm so happy that I've made new friends and have shared this magical pocket of time with old ones. Watching everyone smile, connect, laugh till they snorted, and fall in love all over again with this universe we adore. It's made all the stress, spreadsheets, emails, and frenzied panic entirely worth it. Jodiworld 25 has been a labour of love, and I'm so proud of what we've built together. You're the reason it works. You're the reason it matters. So thank you from the bottom of my very full and slightly exhausted heart. Now go. Be safe, be brilliant, and remember, time waits for no one, but it definitely nods respectfully when it sees a dodo coming. I'd like to see you all in 2027. Please bring a friend. It has been an honour and a privilege.